Good morning, everyone. I'm Nikki,
And I'm Beer.
and this is a Monday Coffee with Jexo where we scan through the last week's news and updates from the Atlassian world. The links for the sources of the topics which we are going to discuss today are linked in the description or in the comment, depending on what platform you are in today. So, Beer, would you like to start with the first news?
Yes, I'll try. I'm a bit hangover after the weekend. It's been my birthday this weekend, so we partied hard with a lot of food. Okay, so, right. The webinar stuff. Uh, Content marketing in the Atlassian Confluence. This webinar is held over 2 days. On the 21st, you'll have the German version, and on 27, you can register for the English version. This event is co-hosted and presented by Victoria from Actonic and David from Zybird. They are both marketing managers at their companies with a lot of experience in the Atlassian ecosystem. This should be really insightful session, and hopefully you can learn a few tricks to improve your marketing planning habits with the help of Confluence. So do book your presence. Links are listed in the announcement page. We actually use Jira and Swanly to plan marketing, and we'll probably be showing that soon, so stay tuned. But there's probably many things that we can learn from David and Victoria, so we'll definitely attend this session.
And when is the webinar?
So it's on 21st, the German version. So if you're German speaking, you can attend the 21st, and then on 27th of this month, you get the English version.
Good. Yeah, and is it recorded as well or only live?
Not sure. They might. That's a good question. They might post it afterwards. It's not written anywhere. It's also a Zoom webinar, so I suppose they can record the session. Probably, if we attend, we can ask them to record it as well.
That's good. Great. Okay, so to the next news, I have here for someone exciting, for someone you will learn about the new Atlassian tool if you don't know. So there's this tool that is called Help, and it's a conversational ticketing system that helps connect communication tools like, for example, Slack or Microsoft Teams. And with this tool, you will be able to raise and track tickets through their life cycle. And in the beginning of this month, Help announced that they reduced the pricing. And so with this new pricing, you will be able to get basically cheaper seats, more agents you introduce into the tool. So in the past, you probably didn't have that many discounts when you get more and more people in, but now more people you get into the tool, the cheaper it gets. And also, if you are on the yearly subscription, then you will get 2 months for free. And also, if you're educational or nonprofit or open source organization, then you can get a further discount. So there is a 75% discount for non-profit for educational organizations, 50% discount for nonprofits, and 100% discount for open source organization. So if you are looking for a way how to improve your ticketing internally, for example, for IT or HR or ops teams, then definitely you can check out Help and see how it can help you.
Yeah, and it's great to see Atlassian's licensing structure coming to help finally. All right, thank you for that. Let's move on. So, bug bounty report. Atlassian just published their quarterly security testing report from the bug bounty program. If you've not heard of the bug bounty program, Atlassian uses this platform called BugCrowd, where all of their products are listed and available for security researchers to test and try to find issues. In return, researchers get monetary rewards for discovering these malicious issues that otherwise might go undetected and cause harm. We're also part of this program with our apps, and so are plenty of other partners. So word of advice, when you install a cloud app, look for the cloud security participant label to make sure the apps are secured. Right, back to the report. Apparently, over this quarter, there have been over 200 researchers hard at work, and they submitted close to 500 bugs, with close to 150 being valid. I'll not spend time going through the report, but if you're interested, download the full report sheets for each of the apps. You can find them at the bottom of the here, so you can download the generic one, the Opsgenie status page, and Trello. The generic one, the Atlassian one, includes Jira, Confluence, and the rest of the main products.
I was surprised. So it's not a report for the marketplace apps; it's for the Atlassian themselves.
Yeah, it's for the Atlassian themselves. The reports for the marketplace apps, the vendors have our own reports. So so that the customers can request from us and other vendors these reports as well.
Okay, that's definitely interesting. Well, speaking of bugs, I have here a great announcement for probably all QAs. So on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, there is going to be a webinar about Qtm4j app and how it helps you optimize your QA process in Jira. So if you don't know, Qtm4j is the third biggest test management app on the Atlassian marketplace. So if you're responsible for QA in your organization, then you should definitely check out what they have to offer in comparison for the biggest vendors out there like X-Ray and Zephyr, for example. And in the webinar, you will learn how to create, manage your test cases, and how to integrate them with your CI/CD pipeline, and also how to do a cross-project reporting. And as a bonus, you will also learn how to save time while doing exploratory testing. So I think it's going to be definitely a nice webinar. And if you don't know the tool, then you will definitely learn a lot about it and how it compares to the other apps in the ecosystem as well. There is a registration link in the post itself, so you can click here and then register for the webinar. It's going to be on Zoom. I just said webinar because I said Zoom, so maybe Zoom webinars are going to be webinars now.
There you go, Zoom, an idea for your next feature name, Zebinars. No, this is cool. I feel that we're talking today quite a lot about webinars and talks and such. It seems like July is the month for these type of smaller, let's call them smaller events, very focused events.
Yeah, I noticed that the last week was full of web events announcements, but no feature improvement announcements. Although I already noticed some in Jira, but I think they're going to be announced next week on the community. I saw some changes in the issue detail view, but I'm not sure it's rolled out to everyone. So yeah, maybe next week we will see some announcements about it.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Although it's summer, I don't think Atlassian's engineering team are all on holidays. Okay, so let's talk about state of Forge. So at the beginning of June, we held a hackathon with our buddies at Resolution. The focus was to explore the progress with Forge and understanding if the platform is in a state where larger application can be built on it. Our engineers spent some quality time documenting their experience and findings while hacking. So we decided to put together the State of Forge report. We wrote this with two purposes in mind. One, help other developers understand better what's possible and what's not from a been there, done that kind of perspective. And two, report back to the Atlassian Forge team in the hopes that some of the lacks will be addressed in future releases. I'm happy to say that the post on the developer community has been well received. We're now at 169 likes and getting close to 1,000 views. This being a statement of the great work done by Jigsaw and Resolution engineering teams, but also special thanks to Tobias at Resolution and also Leo from our team for putting together this awesome document report. If you're planning to start your first app with Forge, read this report, but also make sure to read the comments under, because Atlassian Forge team was kind enough to clarify some of the points mentioned in the report. And yeah, so you can check it out. And underneath, so the report is quite long as well, so it is a bit of a read, but it also has tagged the section, so you can jump to things that are of interest. And underneath the entire report, you'll see a lot of the Atlassian staff commenting with in response to some of the sections. So yeah, go over the whole thing if you're planning to start building your first app in Forge.
That's awesome to get these responses as well. So, we know what we missed and so on. So that's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's also mentioned when the features are going to be developed and things like that.
There is, you know, Atlassian, they never promise hard deadlines.
Oh no, just the link to the tickets.
Yes, they're most of the time they are. Yeah, if there's something that they've already handled, there are also things that they raised, and they're going to continue to raise based on the report that we made. But there's plenty of tickets, so you can track progress to improvements as well. Yeah,
that's good, because like what I usually do is, I don't ask when it's going to be developed, but when you watch the ticket, then you get the notification when it moves to in progress, and they are usually good in communicating during that development process. So it's like ticket is very for a long time like open, but then when it's in development, they're communicating really clearly when and how it's being done. So that's good.
Yeah, all should be tracked. That's fine.
Okay, so the last point on our agenda today is the article of the week, and this time it's not going to be article but podcast. So for everyone who likes to listen more than read, definitely check this one out. So there is a new episode of Teamistry podcast that is talking about reinventing the Hot Wheels, and how Hot Wheels cars were facing a crisis because kids started being more and more interested in video games more than in the physical toys themselves. So in this podcast, you can learn how the team who came up with a physical product that also blends into the digital world. The podcast has 25 minutes and it's kind of like a documentary style podcast. So it's very, very easy to listen to and it's very nicely edited. So definitely if you have 25 minutes of time, go listen to. Might be interesting. Also a bit nostalgic because, when we were kids, we were playing with Hot Wheels, but it does not seem to be that much fun for today's kids. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you might have been playing with Hot Wheels, but I was a pretty poor boy when I was growing up, so I was playing with replicas of Hot Wheels.
I wasn't playing with Hot Wheels; they were too fancy.
Cheap Chinese versions of Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I think it's more for like an American audience. Yeah, us not that much, right?
Very true. Okay, good. That's great. We have a comment in chat. Hey, hello, thanks for joining us. All right, I guess that's kind of it. So, keep it short. We didn't have that much stuff to report apart from events, as I mentioned, that happened. But hopefully next week is going to be a bit more. That's about it for the news about Atlassian. I hope you enjoyed Monday Coffee with Jigsaw, whether you're watching us live or recorded later. Just a reminder, links for all the topics we discussed today are in the description, so don't forget to check them out for yourself. If you have any suggestions on what we should be talking about next week, let us know in the comments. And we'll see you next Monday at 9:30. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everyone.